Hi, my name's Caroline, and I work here at Florida Studio Theater in Sarasota, Florida. Today, we're going to work together to write a play. Florida Studio Theater has been working with young playwrights just like you to write plays for over 30 years. Now, with your imagination and a little help from me, we're going to get your great ideas out of your head and onto the page in a real play. So let's get started. Writing a play is actually a lot like baking a cake. You need the right ingredients. Now, with baking a cake, you might use flour or sugar or eggs. But when writing a play, we use different ingredients. Here are the 4 ingredients of a play. Character. That's who is in the play. Setting. Where and when the play takes place. Conflict. The problem of the play. And dialogue. The words the characters say. Let's start with our first ingredient, character. A character is who is in the play. Now, a character can be a person, like you or me, or a doctor or a crazy mad scientist. A character can be anyone. Characters can also be animals, like my dog Henry, or a lion that lives in the jungle, or a teeny tiny beetle. Characters can also be objects, like my glasses could be a character in a play, or a pencil, or a notebook, or even a shoe. They could all come to life and go on a great adventure in our play. Now that we know that a character can be a person, an animal, or even an object, it's time for us to brainstorm. Brainstorming is a way to get all of those ideas out of your head and onto the page. So I want you to start with that piece of paper in front of you. Now make 3 columns, just like this. At the top of the first column, write people. The second, write animals. And the third, write objects. Now you should have your 3 columns. What I want you to do next is write in each one of those columns 2 to 3 ideas for each different type of character. I'm going to play some writing music to help you think. Teachers, if you feel that your students need a little bit more time, go ahead and pause the video at any point. But I think 30 seconds should be good. Here we go. Let's write. Great job with your brainstorm. I bet you thought up a lot of creative ideas. Here are some examples of ideas that I've loved from other young playwrights. One playwright thought up a person, a young girl who lost her teddy bear. And another playwright thought up an animal that was a tiger that didn't have any stripes. And one playwright thought up an object, a star who could not twinkle. Now I want you to take a look at your list of ideas and pick just one to get started with. I'm going to start with a cheetah. Now, a good playwright includes lots of juicy details about their characters. So let's start thinking up some more things about our characters. Let's start at the very beginning. What do you want to name your character? I'm going to name my character Charlie. Go ahead and write the character's name at the bottom of your page. So I'm going to write Charlie, and then I'm going to include a description that starts with a cheetah. Now that we know our character and its name, we can think up more details by asking ourselves some important questions. Here are some questions to get started with. How old is your character? What does your character look like? Where is your character from? Is there anything else you want to include about your character? So for my character, I'm going to include that Charlie the cheetah is 7 years old. He is yellow with black and brown spots. He lives in the jungle. And he wants to run really, really fast. Now I want you to think of another character to be in the play with the one you've already chosen. Who else or what else might be in the play with your character? For example, in my play with Charlie the cheetah, there might be another character who is an animal, like a lion, or a person who runs a safari, or even an object, like a big, wise tree. If you need help thinking up ideas for your second character, go back to your brainstorm list, or go into your imagination and think, who else or what else might be in this play with my first character? Did you pick one? Great, go ahead and write that one down. Now let's start with those details. What is their name going to be? You can ask yourself more questions to think up more details about your second character. Here are some questions to get started. What is your second character's name? How old is your second character? What does your second character look like? Where is your second character from? Is there anything else you want the audience of the play to know about this second character? For my second character, I chose Willow, the big wise tree. She's 100 years old. And while her bark looks wrinkled and rough, her leaves are still beautiful and green. She lives in the jungle and watches over all of the plants and animals. Now you should have 2 characters with lots of juicy details about them. Congratulations! You have your first ingredient in a play. Now it's time to move on to the second lesson, setting.